Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. Bringing you guys a brand new video today. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon Masters and the top 5 support sync pairs in Pokemon Masters, the brand new mobile game by DeNA. Now in this video, I'm going to break down the top 5 supports for the game. These are going to be the sync pairs that you're going to want to aim for to train up and power up and try to max out their levels. And you're going to see that these Pokemon and these sync pairs are the most effective in the game that I've found up until this point. Now, I'm not going to do them in any particular order because I do believe that when it comes to any sync pairs, it's really about the full team that makes the biggest impact. So it's really about pairing this with the proper strike sync pair and the proper tech sync pair, depending on your situation, to maximize your total team's effort. But I do feel like these sync pairs are the most effective in the game, and I think that all of them have a huge niche depending on what your rest of your team is going to be. So without further ado, let's jump into things here. One of the most effective supports in the game is Pheobe and her Dusclops. This thing has the second highest special defense in the game and the best physical defense in the game. It is incredibly durable, and it can really sponge some serious hits in Pokemon Masters. Its move pool is really cool. It's got Shadow Punch, which is never gonna miss, a pretty decent ghost type attack, but its real benefit is Dire Hit All, which is gonna boost the critical hit ratio of all of your allied sync pairs. Critical hits deal double damage and they go through stat drops, so they can be really effective when it comes to dealing damage with your strikers. There's a lot of characters and sync pairs that really benefit from critical hits, so I would definitely recommend looking to try to power up a Pheobe and her Dusclops. Now, one of her really cool moves is Unbreakable Bonds, which is gonna boost the attack for all of your allies depending on how low your HP is. So the lower your Dusclops HP is, the more you're gonna boost the attack of your allies. So Dusclops can boost the attack of allies. It can also raise the critical hit ratio of your allies, which allows your strikers to deal incredible amounts of damage to opponents in Pokemon Masters. Now, to lower your HP stat, you can use a move like Double Edge, which is its last attack. It's a powerful normal type attack that is going to take recoil damage and ultimately lower Dusclops' HP, allowing it to use that Unbreakable Bonds to boost the attacks of your allies. So it's important to really get the feel for Dusclops and Pheobe and use those attacks properly. You're going to want to basically boost the critical hit ratio, fire off some Double Edges, lower your HP, and then Unbreakable Bonds up the stats of all the attacks for the Pokemon on your team. So that's really the strategy for Pheobe. And the last thing is it's got 2 decent passives. In fact, one of them is one of the best passives in the game, and that is Pass It On. Pass It On is going to make it so when your Dusclops and Pheobe go down, whatever stat boost that your Dusclops had, it actually pass half of those to whatever sync pair comes in next. So it can be really effective, especially in co-op. That's a really good ability in co-op, being able to pass those sync boosts, especially if you're using your Dire Hits and you're able to boost up your attack through Unbreakable Bonds. It can be really powerful to do all those things. And its other passive is Vigilance, which means it cannot be critical hit, which is really good, especially for a support type Pokemon in sync pair. The next sync pair we're going to be talking about is Rosa and her Snivy or Serperior. Now, this is the 5-star that you actually get at the beginning of the game, so a lot of people are going to have Rosa, and I definitely recommend boosting up Rosa and trying to use Rosa because it's a very good sync pair, especially if you're free to play, you don't want to get any other characters, or you haven't gotten lucky with your gems like me. Rosa is actually pretty reliable. It's actually got the best special defense in the game. It slightly edges up over Dusclops, and it's one of the top 6 defenders in the game in terms of its overall bulk, but it's got great HP, and it's just incredibly bulky overall, so it can definitely take some hits. It's got some okay moves. It's really not the best moves, but it's okay. It's got Energy Ball, which can drop special defense, a decent grass type attack. You've got X Special Attack All, which is really one of the bread and butters of this set. You can boost the special attack of all your allied sync pairs, allowing your Serperior and your opponent or pairs to do a lot of damage. Generally, you don't want to use the Serperior to attack. It's really to support a special striker by using that X Special Attack. Its real benefit, though, is Time to Energize, which is the best move gauge boosting move in the game. You can use it twice, and you can actually boost the move gauges of all your allied sync pairs by 3. That allows things like Corinna and Lucario to fire off massive close combats repeatedly. It allows you to basically get whatever move setup you need for your strikers really effectively. So it's just super duper good overall. Being able to energize and boost those move gauges up 3 stages twice in a battle is super duper insane. And then its last move is Giga Drain. Giga Drain is going to restore HP. It's a powerful grass type attack. It's pretty decent. Otherwise, generally you're going to use Energy Ball, but generally Serperior, its turns are used either boosting special attack or energizing those move gauges. Its passive is Stalwart, which means its special defense can't be lowered. It's not all that effective, but generally, because you can boost those move gauges back up and you can boost the special attack, Rosa and her Serperior rank as one of the best support teams in Pokemon Masters. Now, one of the support characters that I've wanted to try so much is Drake and Salamence. Salamence is often thought of as being an offensive Pokemon, but in this game, it is very support worthy, and it's actually incredible what it can do. First of all, we're going to start off with the fact that it's got average bulk. It's not super bulky, but it can make up for that with its different passives. Drake has some really cool passives. Dragon Claw is just a relatively good attack. It's got X special defense all, which can boost the ally sync pair's special defense. Very, very powerful there to boost all the special defense of your sync allied pairs. You can use hard to starboard, which is a really cool move from Drake. It can increase your move gauges by 2, and it also sharply raises defense. So in some ways better than what Serperior can do. Instead of raising by 3, you're raising by 2, and you're boosting defense of your allied sync pairs. And last but not least, it's got the Dragon Breath move, which has a chance to paralyze opponents. Overall, Salamence being able to boost the physical defense and the special defense of allied pairs, very, very good. Dragon's a pretty good attack, being able to Dragon Breath to potentially paralyze and slow things down. Dragon Claw is a decent attack, but really the big thing here that separates Salamence apart from some of the other sync pairs is the fact that it has the passive ability Terrify, which lowers the attack of all of the opponent's sync pairs when sent into battle. So in co-op, it can be recycled and reused, and in singles, it's just really, really good. You start the battle off with lowering their attack stat, and you're able to boost the defenses of all your allied sync pairs and give them a tremendous amount of bulk. That's super duper good, especially for strikers that need to Mega Evolve, by giving them more turns to potentially take hits if they're taking those hits, and give them an opportunity to get enough attacks off to get their sync move off, and then ultimately be able to Mega Evolve. So I do think Salamence is one of the more underrated support Pokemon right now. I think Drake and Salamence is going to be very, very heavily used as the game develops out, and I'm definitely trying to get one myself because I do feel like it's worth investing into. The next sync pair we're going to get is a 5-star Sharon and Stoutland sync pair. This one you actually get through the story mode, so it's really cool that you're able to get this one. It's a little bit more unique than some of the other supporters because it can actually be pretty offensive as well. It's got top 10 in bulk, so it's pretty bulky overall, but its real benefit is the fact that it can actually restore those move gauges as well. But we'll talk about its attacks first. So it's got Facade, which is a really cool normal type attack that doubles damage if you're status. If you're burned, it's not affected by the burn reduction. So Facade can actually be a really powerful attack. Full heal allows you to heal up your allies. So if you happen to have something that's poisoned or paralyzed or burned, your striker gets burned, you can heal that off with full heal, which is a pretty unique way to support. You can use Apply Yourself, which is going to heal up your allies and give them 2 more gauges. So much like Salamence's Starboard, you're actually able to give move gauges to your teammates, which is really cool. But also you can actually heal them too. So rather than giving defense, you're going to heal your allies. So very, very cool approach there. And then last but not least, it has Crunch, which is a dark type attack that can lower defense. It's a pretty good dark type attack, but generally I think Facade is the better play. Last but not least, its passive is Outrun 4, which is going to quickly charge your move gauge if you're status. So if your Stoutland happens to get burned, it actually is really beneficial for you. You can fire off more powerful Facades. You're going to be able to recharge your move gauge, which is really good. Allow you to get that Apply Yourself off. You can get off multiple Facades, and you're going to be really powerful. You don't want to full heal yourself, though. I wouldn't recommend that. And the last Pokemon that we're going to talk about in this video is actually Meditite and Maylene. Now, there's a few notable mentions that are not going to be covered in this video, like Cheryl and her Blissey. I think there's a handful of Pokemon, Nosepass, and Swanna and Skyla can be used, but I'm going to talk about Meditite and Maylene because I think they're a very, very good sync pair that might be underrated. It's a sync pair that I've been using quite a bit. I don't have Dusclops and Phoebe yet, but I can tell you that Maylene and Meditite are very, very good nevertheless. The bulk is really bad though. It's one of the least bulky kind of sync pairs in the game, especially from a support perspective. So don't expect your Meditite to live a lot of hits, but if paired with a physical strike sync pair, it can be really, really detrimental. It's got Rock Smash as one of its attacks to lower the opponent's defense, which can be a pretty cool opportunity there. But really, it's got the X Attack All, which is going to boost the attack of all your allied sync pairs. Very, very good. 2 stages. It's very similar to kind of how Rosa Serperior boosts his special attack. Not quite as bulky though. But its gloves off move for Maylene is one of the most amazing kind of buffs that you can get. It's gonna raise the critical hit ratio and then guarantee that the next attack is a sure hit. So things like Lycanroc, Olivia's Lycanroc really benefits from that, boosting its critical hit ratio to buff its passive, ensuring that moves like Stone Edge are gonna hit. It could be really good with like Blue and his Pidgeot later on when that comes out, allowing you to hit those Hurricanes when it Mega Evolves. There's a lot of, opportunities there, with gloves off being just a really powerful attack that's going to guarantee the hit and also guarantee that you're going to have higher crit ratio. And then its last move is Drain Punch, which is going to restore your HP. It's going to deal a decent amount of damage, and it's going to allow that Meditite to live a little bit longer. It does have a passive that allows it to live attacks, physical attacks, if it's at low HP, so it could be pretty useful in a clutch situation there. But overall, those are the top 5 best support sync pairs in Pokemon Masters that I've found. I do believe that there's going to be plenty of updates with more sync pairs in the future, but I really like these 5. I think you can, like I said, mention there's some honorable mentions like Cheryl and her Blissey. I do think Swanna and Skyla can be really good. There's definitely a lot of other opportunities there. It's really about the full team that you put together. So let me know in the comments section below what your favorite support sync pair has been up to this point and what you want me to cover next. Do you want me to cover Tech? Do you want me to cover Strike next? Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for daily Pokemon content and tons of Pokemon Masters content. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.